I'm calling it for the day. I am done driving on washboards for the day. Good morning, folks, from the Alabama Hills in California. It totally is confusing that they're called the Alabama Hills. Apparently it was named after the USS Alabama, a ship, and not the state. What an entirely cool place, huh? These are all really ancient eroded granite rock formations, and that's the Eastern Sierra Mountains with Mount Whitney in the background. What a stunning place! And surprisingly, for a place that is really popular, it was not at all difficult to find a quiet, out-of-the-way campsite. The marketing materials for this area tell me that about 400 movies have been filmed in this location, starting with, I think, Gunga Din in 1929. And probably the more recent ones would be Django Unchained and Iron Man. But lots of Westerns. I mean, this is a very Western-looking landscape. Good boy. Hi. We got too much stuff. All right, let's go check this place out. It's not a very big area, but the Alabama Hills sure are pretty neat to look at. This is all eroded granite, and granite's a metamorphic rock, so it was formed under intense heat and pressure. But it's also a really tough rock. To be so eroded like this is pretty incredible. It took a very long time and lots of water and wind to make it look like this. Right at the entrance to the Alabama Hills is this. She is called Monster Rock. And yeah, she's got some character. I don't know the story of Monster Rock, but I think she's not actually in the Alabama Hills property. I think this is City of Los Angeles waterboard property. Obviously, you shouldn't be painting on the rocks out here, but I'm pretty sure this one has been here a fairly long time. And now I think it's time we got to Death Valley National Park. Aurora. There's 50 miles of little traveled highway before we get to Death Valley. We're not taking the regular route into Death Valley. We're taking Saline Valley Road. It's a little challenging to determine what to expect on this road. Right here, it's just a gravel road, but it is supposed to turn into a four-wheel drive road. And it's a 50-mile road. So we are going to be driving quite a ways today on dirt and gravel and possibly sand, but I don't know what to expect as far as road conditions. Is there going to be any snow? What kind of territory exactly are we passing through? I'm not sure. Yeah, this road is going to be really washboarded. Really, really washboarded. The first quarter mile of it is just washboard. And I think that's going to continue for a while. The beginning part of this road is on BLM land. And so I could fly the drone, but it's too windy. It's actually kind of windy and cold outside today. We are back in Joshua Tree territory, which brings me a lot of joy. And we're turning down a road because there's a building. There's no signs. I don't know what this is, but we're gonna go check it out. It's like a little trailer. It's got stickers on it. I mean, I guess you'll see when we get there. Boxcar cabin. This sounds familiar. I think it's gonna take extra long to get to where I'm going if I stop at everything, but I'm gonna stop. There's a little fire pit and a cabin. Boxcar cabin, if signs are to be believed. And looks like you can go in it. Oh, wow. Huh. I think this is one of those little cabins, like people don't live here, but you could stay here if you wanted to. And there's blankets and a little wood stove and a Target. And somebody put a little sign, "Welcome to Paradise. Take a flag, leave a flag." And a little notebook. Yeah, raise flag to indicate you are camping. Lower and store flag when you leave. Now people leave stuff here. There's some whiskey. A Jason mask. I suspect in summertime that fly swatter is needed. And a little library and games you can play. They even decorated the walls. There's pictures on the walls. Oh, and I love this painting that somebody did on the wall. And I think that's a painting. Yeah, that's a painting. That's really cool. And people have written all over the walls and drawn pictures. Look at this picture of a Joshua tree. I love that. And that's a painting. That's a painting of the cabin. What an entirely cool place. I'm glad I made this little side trip. Tuck is glad we made this little side trip too, because he can get out and stretch his legs. And there's a little something up the hill here, so we're gonna go check that out. From this distance, it appears it might be an outhouse. I'm pretty sure that's an outhouse. Yep, that's exactly what that is. It has a lovely painting. And they painted the ceiling. Deserts are kind of quirky places. and they attract kind of quirky people. That's probably why I feel pretty at home in desert areas. How cool. Boxcar cabin. Let's go in the car. Good boy. This road was at least partially paved a long time ago. So we have intermittent sections where it is paved and full of massive potholes, and then followed very quickly by just horrendous washboards. My Jeep is getting rattled to pieces on this road. And now we're entering Death Valley National Park, and on back roads like this, all you get is a little sign. There's nobody to collect your entrance fee back here. But I do have an annual parks pass, so I'm legal. This place is called Lee Flat. Look how big these Joshua trees are. This is a huge Joshua tree. And there are just Joshua trees as far as the eye can see. Joshua trees aren't really a tree. They're a yucca plant that only grows in the Mojave Desert. But they completely look like Dr. Seuss trees. And we're about to be driving through miles of Joshua tree forest. This is a very wide road, so I'm kind of trying to choose my path through it that has the least washboards. And the whole darn thing seems to be washboarded all the way across. You could fit 4 cars on this road side by side. And the whole thing's washboarded. We're driving up out of Lee Flats. Through a little canyon, and all that dark rock around is lava rock. It's very lava-y around here. We've been climbing up for a little ways, and look at this view. Oh, that is so gorgeous. There's some cool sand dunes down there and a little bit of snow on the mountains. We've come to an intersection, and I think I go left. There's no signs. I'm using Onyx to navigate around here. There's a lot of rockfall on this portion of the road. Recent rockfall. I keep getting glimpses of the valley we're driving into as I'm winding my way down this hill. And it's stunning. Look at that. Wow. The giant salt flat in that valley. This little road is no joke right here. There's a ton of rockfall, and there's quite a few areas where there's washouts near the edge of the road. There's a genuine stream flowing through the Mojave Desert. We just came down from those hills and into this gorgeous little area. You just look at all the different colors and lines and shapes on that mountain. It's so beautiful. There we've got a pretty good view of the valley, and just look at that. Holy cow. We are halfway there. We have gone 25 miles in 2.5 hours. I certainly don't mind slow roads, but this one's been a teeth-rattling slow road. It sure is pretty though. This is the stuff we're driving on right now. It's pretty awful. What do you think, bud? not super thrilled with being on gravel and bumpy stuff quite this long. And that salt flat ahead of us actually has a ton of water on it. And I'm seeing green grass. It's kind of cool to come to Death Valley in winter. I mean, I wouldn't be coming here in summer ever, but in winter it's very nice. The road is bumpy and makes my voice vibrate, but this road we're on, it can get covered in snow in the wintertime in the canyon areas, and so can be unpassable in winter and can have big washouts in the spring. But knock on wood, for us at this moment, it's been a perfectly normal road, if not somewhat rattly the whole way. And it's very bumpy because we're driving down what's called an alluvial fan, which is where rocks tumble off the mountain and kind of fan out from the mountain on the ground in front of it. That's what we're driving on. This isn't a technical road, so I'm not getting bounced around. It's just constant vibration of varying frequencies. Non-stop. We're nearly down at the level of the salt flats, and we're going across a big sand basin, and it's really washboardy, except for where the numerous dry washes cross the road, and then it's whoop-de-doos. It's an interesting drive. You get a lot of different types of driving terrain. We're just about to lose the sun behind the mountains. And I'm not driving out there because we got places to be. There are bits of metal construction out there, and it was a tramway that transported salt from here to California markets. We're driving next to a salt marsh that is part of the big salt flat, and it's kind of cool to see green out here and water. I have also seen some evidence that there are probably wild burros out here, burro poop piles. I've also seen two military jets, both of them flying really low, and I wish I could have gotten the second one on camera for you guys, because it was flying real low and it got close, like shockingly close. This is a huge valley. I have been driving through it for a long time now, and we are near our goal, but we're not there yet. But it is also just stunningly beautiful here. And I know that doesn't convey as well in camera, but it's a wow kind of place. Well, I'm not quite to my destination yet, but I'm calling it for the day. I am done driving on washboards for the day. And I think Tuck is too. And so we found a tiny sliver of BLM and National Forest land where you can camp right next to the park. And we're not that far from our destination, but it's still going to be another hour before I get there, I think. So I'm saving that for tomorrow. But we've got a pretty tremendous view of this valley. Everything gets kind of flattened on the screen, but these are sand dunes in front of us. Just after the sand dunes is where we turn to start heading west. We've been going north this whole time in Death Valley National Park, and tomorrow we turn west to some warm springs. That's my big goal. That's why I have driven so far 40 miles and what will be 50 miles down a crazy washboarded road to go to some warm springs. They're called the Saline Warm Springs, and they're a really cool looking warm spring in the middle of Death Valley National Park, in the middle of nowhere in Death Valley National Park. But for tonight, I am just gonna get camp set up real quick. I'm gonna have a super easy dinner. I have some hard-boiled eggs, which is what I had for lunch. And so I'm just gonna eat some hard-boiled eggs and some cheese and some fruit and call that good. And tomorrow we will head to the hot springs. I'll see you guys in the morning.